Hello, so this time we have a game full of tactics and fights. It was pretty intense and White won by 2.5. Even that it's a handicap game with reverse commie. So actually White was winning by a larger amount. But in fact, White missed some opportunities to win this game even bigger. So let's get into it. First of all, this game White is playing Sansan, trying to experiment a little bit with a territorial approach in Fuseki, and surprisingly, Black is attacking right away. This is a little bit too aggressive. Black can simply take another corner because right now Black has the choice to attack one of the corners anyway, so he can still approach from the left side and then extend back. This would be a much more balanced opening for Black. So attacking right away shows that Black wants to start an aggressive game right away. So White very calm defense here. It's also okay to protect at f4 or even came at e4, because like this White is stepping up a little bit to the fourth line and puts more pressure on Black, so Black should extend back to look for a base. But nothing wrong with the two space extension or Nick and Toby, so Black is going back for the empty corner, which is a good decision. Now White takes another Sansan. In this case White can also consider a Hoshi, because it feels a little bit too flat to have all the stones on the third line on the bottom line. But anyway, it's not a mistake. So Black is putting pressure here. Now it's important which direction White is choosing. Normally in this case, it's slightly better for White to push at q3. Now the difference is, let's check a little bit how the Joseki develops with r4. Now we come back here. So White plays the Keima, which is normal, but in this case Black can choose to block at r5. Now normally White plays Kosumi or Keima to get out of the corner, and then Black extends for a base at r9. But this development goes in the direction of the top right corner, so it feels good for Black on the right side. Now if we have the same follow-up with the Nobi here and then came on this way, when Black blocks at p3, it's not the same thing. So now Black develops towards white stones. So that's why it's better for White to choose q3 first. And of course in this pattern, Black can go to space jump like this and just set up some outside influence. This is a basic pattern. Now there's another Joseki White can choose. So after pushing here, instead of playing Keima p2, White can turn right away, then play the key point in order to create some cuts next. So Black will probably defend with a loose shape, and then White jumps to prevent the right side becoming too big. This is another basic pattern. So back to the original game. Black turns and White extends on the bottom all the way to L3. This feels a little bit flat, so White should consider O4 in order to get to the fourth line, because most of his stones are very low, and now the three stones need a base, so Black most likely will extend to the right side, either R9 or Q9. And in this case, White can look all over the board and choose another big point. So White played L3, which feels a little bit slack, and Black invaded. That's a bit desperate. First of all, Black still needs an extension on the right side, and he also needs an extension on the left side. Now on the left side, Black can consider the shoulder hit and then attach in order to get a little stronger and then extend. Because with these two exchanges, 1 and 3, Black is keeping White pretty low on the bottom side. And the invasion it's even no need, because right now White has all his stones focused on one side, while Black is developing the rest of the board. So Black should be happy with Fuseki so far. This feels a little bit desperate. Good decision for White to play away. There is no need to attack the single stone. Anyway, black has a weak stone at d6 as well. So white can even consider the pincer here, because now all the stones here on the left side are floating for black. So Tenuki, white can also consider a pincer like q9, because now the 3 stones on the right side, they are pretty heavy, so they have to start running too, which is always nice to see. So the Sun invasion. But it's really fond of Sun in this game, it seems. Now black has several options here. For example, Keima or Hane. And there are several Josekis in each variation. Playing Nobi is the most simple way. For example, white can Keima to go out of the corner, and this is a very trendy move. And then black can simply extend in the top to go for a Moyo in that area. And now, of course, white can play away. When playing the Hane, the most common Joseki is to go Nobi a couple of times. Like this, black is setting up a wall, but then white invades the middle of the top side. Black can go down in center once, and either extend from the wall, high or low, or attack from the other side in order to push white into the wall. This would be actually a better way to deal with this kind of middle side invasion. And there will be a fight inside that Moyo. This was actually quite popular. Just Fred8 after AlphaGo played the Lissador match in 2016. So everybody got really fond of the early Sun invasion, and it's still going strong today. Now there are all kind of Josekis developed from that pattern. For example, playing the Keima here, white will push and Hane to go outside of the corner, and now black can choose the Hane in the corner and then either double Hane or inside cut. Now for the inside cut, white can choose to block and then create some RG this way or this way. If the ladder is good, black will play Atari here, but protecting the cuts with this kind of shape, it's also a nice option. So this is some kind of popular Joseki, let's say. And also white can choose to capture this stone, even if black will squeeze next. Black has to come back and capture this stone. Then white will use the idea of the dead stone playing Atari on the outside and then come out of the corner like that. So once again, if the ladder is good, black will play Atari here. Let's check in this case. Might be broken. No, actually wait, it's coming like this, tuck, tuck. Right. Yeah, so in this case, black has to play Keima, and then white extends in the top once again. This became a very modern Joseki in the AI era. So playing Nobi is the most simple way. And then Hane. Should still Hane once. This exchange is important. And then play away. If this happens, white can just Atari and go down to refute all the complicated variations. But also, when black plays this way and double Hane, there's a trade Joseki where white goes Atari, then Atari here and capture the stone, and then both get the Punuke on the second line. Now the reason white plays Atari like that in the top is because if white tries to capture one stone like this, black will capture the corner. So this is a little bit of a disaster for white, losing all those 4 stones. This way, white prevents the capture in the corner with the Atari. So if black decides to connect here, white will get into the Moyo. This is possible too in some cases, but most of the time black will block, white will capture here, and black goes for the top moyo. So black got the Ponuki here, which is a powerful formation, and white got it on the left side. So this is considered a Joseki as well. Now let's move on a little bit, because the tactics in these games, I mean in this particular game, were quite interesting. So in order to punish black for not playing the Hane at c14, white should play Hane in the head of those 3 stones and either get ahead with Nobi or consider double Hane. Black should Nobi again and white connects. So like this, white gets ahead on the left side, which is quite nice because he starts building on the 4th line, and 4th line is the so-called line of victory. Now maybe you wonder what happens if black cuts once. The thing is, there's a cutting point at e15, and then white can shorten the liberties of those 3 stones. So for example, if black simply gets ahead, white will capture the stone. If black tries to save this stone by going out or Atari and then connect, now white can use the cutting points, either playing Atari like this and go down, or simply Hane on the 3rd line, on the 2nd line. Now if black blocks, this will happen and it's a capture. So the moyo in the top will disappear. That's why black has to get ahead instead. So the double Hane works just fine. Black Nobi, white connects. White can push again even, and then come back to protect. So white simply jump out. This is a little bit more soft, but still a good idea. In fact, if you look at the position overall, white can also consider Tenuki. Either approach the top right or take away the extension and then extend all the way to the corner. So black is trying a desperate invasion here. White doesn't need to Hane up. It's not wrong, it's fine, but it's good enough to connect under with Hane on the 2nd line, because black has to pull back and then white simply connects solid. Black will turn, white goes down, so white is safe in the corner area, and black needs an extension here, but then his h3 is still a weak stone. Also, if black is trying to connect his stones like this, white can extend on the left side and attack everything as a whole, and there is still some agi to cut next around f5. So keeping black without the base, it's an option. Playing d2, separating like this, it's fighting spirit, but of course black will link under. Now here there are several options for white. Instead of pushing like this, which allows black a connection right away and then still leave some cutting points, white should consider either the connection solid and then go down, trying to take away the base, and then of course attach to surround everything and keep more pressure. This cut here on the left side, it's not a problem. White can always catch faster. So this would be an option. Another option, and generally it's better to connect solid and see how black will defend, if it's either like this or connect solid, which leaves more cutting points. I mean, this g3 going for an extra point. Now white can also consider Atari and Atari again in order to separate and then connect. Now this way h3 is hurt and black is still not alive in the corner. Black of course can turn and make life, or even cut, but this cut will just bring him a few points, and the thing is, white can hurt the outside even more. So when this happens, the 2 black stones on the outside seem pretty much lost, and black just lives in the corner but gains a small territory. So this would actually be a pretty nice trade for white because of taking all this outside influence. So let's see the actual game. White Nobi, then black connects, white goes down. This is a very good move, threatening to catch the 2 stones and keep the base in check. So here black can go out with Nobi. Atari wasn't great because white will connect and then there's still a cutting point, and black has to connect to defend his E2 stones. But okay, those are not so important anymore, so black should just go out to save his group. The problem is that white builds a lot on the left side now in the process. So if playing Nobi, when white captures, black can also squeeze like this. This would be quite painful. But of course white is not going to connect the two stones. Not a big deal if they die. So black played Atari, connect, and then connect the two stones. But actually it's more important to connect the stone up. These two stones, they don't have any value anymore. I mean, only a couple of points. And white doesn't need this kind of move. So once again, white can cut to punish. And if black plays c4, it's no problem to Atari, go down, and then cover. Black has only two liberties. So right now, black will struggle to escape on the bottom. So this was a little bit slack, but overall, white still feels good in this fight. Black shouldn't block. Still more important to escape from here. But it feels a little bit painful what's happening on this side. I don't even know how to enclose at maximum. This would be the safe way, and this would be probably a little greedy, but it feels like white is going to build all this area. So black went down, white cuts, very good. And here white should continue pushing. It's not a problem if black goes out, because white surrounds everything and now it's quite difficult for black to live inside. This is the key point and the group is dead. So black doesn't have time to go out. When white pushes, black has to push again and Hane, or play the Tsuke right away. That's an option too, and then pull back. But now white can decide to connect like this or capture the stone now. So this would be a bit more painful for black. If this happens, white has the option to play double Hane. And again, black needs a move to defend. Of course, black can cut and then protect. But if black is greedy to capture this stone, then Atari and take the other guys. So that's a good deal for white. So simply Ponuki is still a pretty good result for white in this fight. Then Hane, nice. That's a bit too much. Black should go out with an attach move. And then if white Nobi, black goes for this stone. And white leaves the position like this and attacks severe the left side. Playing here, white can surround everything at k4. The group is still not alive. So black needs to play the Kosumi and then another move to leave in the corner. So white can even come back and counter-attack that stone. Connect under, it's an option. Or just leave it and attack everything with a pincer like this or like this. Because white is strong everywhere, so these three stones, they just became a target. Taking the extension here, it's an option too. So the two stones are heavy on the left side. Why not? So black finally comes out. Well, right now he's busy on the left side. He should play a shoulder hit and jump here. So in this position, white can still push once. This is quite annoying because he can save this L3. So black will probably just pull back. Then there is a way to reduce from the bottom, like this. And finally this area is settled, but white is strong in the corner. Also playing k5 gives some more potential in the middle, and then white can jump like this to capture the two stones on a large scale. And the game continues. Left side, it's already quite impressive as a territory for white. So another Sun invasion, which is generally good. Black probably chose the wrong side here. He should just block here and even consider a double Hane Joseki. This can also get out of control easily. Let's say we have this pattern and then try something on the left side. Because like this, black has a lot of potential in the top. So in general, it's better to block towards the middle side extension, because there is more potential here. Wait, like this. So this blocked and push, Hane very good. No it's an option, but in this case black should extend all the way to the right side. So this time, even if he loses the top, he makes the moe on the right. So Nobi again, then white pushes. Now in this case, black can extend, but it's gote. White will simply invade the right side, high or low, because it gives Miai to extend one direction or the other for a base. Black can also play the one space jump, or black can leave the position like this and go for the middle side extension and accept several more pushes in the top, but at least he can get a nice moe on the right side. Playing this Hane leaves cuts and it's a problem, so white can cut right away. This Hane is very good, it creates more cutting points. And in this case black should play the hanging connection to stay pretty safe. There is still a cut here and it can be annoying, but okay, for now it's not so dangerous. While playing this one, now there are how many cuts? All these cuts here, so black will probably encounter some loss. Yeah, nice idea to cut like that. And actually here, black should connect solid, but then the other cut is coming. So black's options are to sacrifice the stone in this case. But even so, is that it's a bit tricky. In fact here, wait a second. Yeah, going down is too much. Just connect. So in the end, black is losing just S15. So it's not so damaging. Now playing Atari here leaves other problems. Well, instead of pushing, white can just come out. So black is forced to play Atari, then give up the stones on the right side, which is already a good catch for white, but at least black can hope something in the center next. If black plays this net, doesn't work because of the capture, so playing Nobi can be quite painful. And if black decides to give up the 3 stones like that, it's also a success for white. So now when Nobi, black can Hane first, then white turns, and then black captures. So black keeps everything connected and white is on the run. Black missed a chance here. Now on this capture, white is happy to take the 2 stones. White can also Nobi, because if black comes out, this would be really painful. Even if black leaves on the side, it's quite ugly, because every stone black played on the first line, on the second line, will bring 1 point, and every stone white played on the third line will probably give him at least 2 points for each stone in the wall, so it's double profit. But capturing 2 stones is fine. In fact, it's okay to take right away. Playing like this, white still needs to go back and protect, so now black can cut and capture 1 stone in a ladder. But black decided to cover. Good peep. Well, the second one is not really necessary right now, but when black connects here, he creates the so-called B2 bomber shape, which is extremely heavy. And if black wants to avoid that kind of ugly shape, he can just cover and now white can connect, but black is sente. So this way white got center. Nice idea to go for the left side and catch the two stones on a large scale, but white could still play the Nobi in center and then think about the double Keima. Now it's much harder for black to go out this way, where even Nobi works. And inside there is no space to build twice, maximum one. So black is captured. Now white jumps, tries to kill more. And instead of attaching here, which looks like a very natural move, white can think about the Kosumi. So it's very difficult for black to escape. Also, if black is trying this move, push and cut. So now black cuts to break out, Atari, it's all forced. If black connects here, white will cover, and again the group will die inside. So playing this, it's quite normal. And in this case, black is supposed to go Atari and push white down, but it's still a bit dangerous because of these moves in center. And then when white descends, black can only make one eye. Even if capturing the 3 stones, there is no room for 2 eyes. So Atari, and I don't know why white is going for a ko fight here, but let's see what happens if white eliminates the ko. So when black pushes and he uses these cuts, he's supposed to play the cut on the outside. I mean, the trap is if white captures, then there is double Atari. So black is giving up the stone that he doesn't care about to save the other stones. But of course white can see this and connect. Now white has 3 liberties, and also white can expand the liberties with Atari b8. And if black plays Atari here, white comes out with Atari on 4 stones. So when black defends the 4 stones, white takes the one on the side and it's connected. Now black needs to Nobi, and in this case white can push. And now white can even think about capture. Oh, actually white can already capture Atari and net like this. This is the so-called loose ladder capture. So if black comes out, white blocks again. If black tries to break out this way, it's Atari and Atari. Also, if black connects here, white can cover either like this or like this, and the group is captured in a net. So there are 2 more liberties. That's one way. Also, pushing, where was it? Let's go back a few moves. So, push like this, it's an option too. Because if black plays the Hane, white has Atari on the second line first. So when black connects here, again, there is a net on the 4 stones in the middle, or a block here to capture the left side. So everything will collapse and die on the left side. White can keep all that territory. This was a good opportunity to finish the game right here for white. So instead of ko, just connect. And now if white, if black tries other moves, let's say trying to go for a ko here, it still doesn't work because, okay, first of all, white can capture the ko, but white can also make an eye. And then instead of blocking, connecting here, white can block the other way. So it's impossible for black to approach to play Atari because it's self Atari. Therefore white makes an eye and black doesn't have one. So even if black plays goes down like that, white can block to keep the eye, or this time net and kill the other stones in the middle. This can make an interesting fight. Oh, this way black can leave. So okay, we don't go for the 4 stones in the middle. Just keep the left side dead. So there was this unnecessary ko, and white is giving up a little chance for black to recover. Now as a ko threat, it's more interesting to play k4, because if black eliminates the ko, now the bottom group, it's again in trouble. So this will be a kill. If black tries to leave this way, white can take the vital point directly. Of course, black is giving up the top stone to live with the dragon on the left. So that's why white had to go for a larger cut threat. Now playing Atari like this is not really needed. It's good enough to play Atari from behind and then play away. Moves like this. Probably this key point. And now black can hope for a pretty even game more or less. Well, here white doesn't have to protect anymore. That's a good decision. Because when black captures two stones, white can always take one back. Alright. Now black is connecting this area. Well, white can reduce the top by playing J17. If black tries to cut, it works to connect with a clamp and link under. Once again, when capture, recapture works. But for white, it's interesting to jump like this and look for a cutting point like this or like this later on. So white jumps. I don't know why black is playing that wedge, because anyway it's impossible to separate anymore. So locally here black can only cover and keep his wall connected, but again white will jump to reduce that potential. So playing this wedge is just making a heavy shave for black. Now white comes out, but once again white can jump from here, and in the top white can use Kosumi or Keima to go on the third line instead of second. If black tries to separate like this, it doesn't work. So nothing to worry about. In fact, it's better to play one Atari first and then capture the two stones. And like this, white can just reduce more. So capture, recapture, very good. Yeah, this two space jump, it's a bit too much. Should play a one space jump. Because playing the two space jump leaves the option to cut like this, for example, or pull back and then cut this way. So Iken Tob, it's really bad. Always trust the one space jump, or most of the time. Well, black is still playing the unimportant moves. So black should think about other moves. For example, Kosumitsuke here and then go out. White should keep this corner safe. Then the vital point and jump into the center. So like this, black is going for some territory in this area. But still overall, it feels like a good game for white. But it's much closer than it was supposed to be. Yeah, this is a nice idea to enter in on the right side. But once again, white can just Nobi. Oops. And then also expand the corner territory a little bit. And then Keima to enter the right. Also on the left, white has the cut and extend, but it doesn't work right away because black can fight back a little bit. So white can play a Kosumi here, threatening the cut, and this way white keeps connected and then jump once in the middle to reduce all the potential black has from this wall. So let's briefly check the end game. Now this was another highlight of the game where black is trying desperate to cut some stones, but white should simply jump out tight like this to set up a net. So if black tries to get out, white will just surround, and it's difficult for those 4 stones to escape. Not enough liberties. Actually, in the actual game, white could surround and kill everything, but the problem was here. Instead of capturing the stone and allow black escape, white should cover, because when black connects here, nothing happens. White will just capture everything. Also, if black plays this kind of move first, white will cover, and when black connects, again he can't go out because of Atari and Atari and Atari again. And another option for white to kill is to simply protect on the outside. And now if black tries something like this, white connects, and when black tries to capture the 4 stones, it doesn't work again. White is faster. So all these stones die in the middle, and the game is as good as over. But now black can go out, so black got a little bit lucky here. Normally white should capture in a net like this, and if black simply escapes, white doesn't have to worry so much about the center, but it's still good to play another jump to secure. Playing this move leaves some RG, so this time white needs this move to capture. Luckily black played another move here, luckily for white, but he can already play the Kosumi in order to go for the snapback, so white needs all these moves, but this can be dangerous for white already, so those guys can be captured. Now black connected, which means white has time to come back here or this way to prevent the escape. So when this happens, white still keeps the I shape in the middle and everything is connected. So black can go out now, which he did. And yeah, white has to sacrifice those guys and then think about some I shape here. This is the place where black got back in the game quite a lot. Now for white it's more interesting to jump like this or like this in order to make more space in the center. So when Atari extend, and there is enough room inside to build twice. Playing like that it's a bit shy, so black could reduce a bit more in this case. Actually here it's better to play Keima and then block and then push again, and now just go under. There's enough space in the middle to keep the ice. So the block, black can Atari cut and then just turn because the stones will die inside. Anyway, white doesn't care, white just wants to sacrifice and keep the ice in the middle. That's good. This Hane is not so urgent now. It's still better to play the attach under and push again. Black can also block, but then pull back and connect, or block this way, or cut and fight like this. But this you don't need. So Hane, connect. Yeah, there is a little bit of Aji here with the clamp at S7, but black should play the Kosumitsuke first and then come out between the stones. That's too passive. Good attach here to reduce the points on the bottom. Now there's another place where black is making some points pretty soon. Yeah, here. When this Atari happens, white should just connect. And then when black pushes, white blocks again. And now black goes Atari and he needs to protect against the double Atari. So like this, white keeps lots of points in the corner. Playing Atari here, white is losing points. Black can go for a ko, but it's very dangerous. So black needs to protect and white has to keep the eyes in the corner. And then black just got some profit on the side. The same thing happened here. It's better to protect R2 for I shape because later on white also needs S2. At least in this case, white can enter the right side. So black rushed a little bit with capture here. It's still big to protect the right. But okay, this was another lucky sequence. So black, yeah. White overlooked the Atari, should simply connect and nothing happens. If Hane, Atari, black connects and white can play away. So this is where white lost some points. So far, this area was a minus for white, and now this area. And it's still a pretty close game. Well, white was 7.5 points ahead in the end. This is not so big right now. Let's look all over the board. Normally in the end game, the second line moves are important, even that one, but going out here it's interesting to damage some points. Black has to block, then turn, then if black connects here, turn again. So black might cover, then either capture and block like this, or leave the position as it is and reduce the territory from the center a little bit. How is this? Atari, connect. Yeah, white can do so much there. So yeah, I better play this. It's a bigger endgame than just saving another stone on the right. So white again could win the game by a few extra points. This is saving just one stone, so it's 2 points gote. And saving this stone allows black the capture here in center, which is bigger than this kind of jump. And then black can also cover and Atari in center, play Hane, connect. Now this way black makes lots of points in this area that white could reduce earlier. So yeah, white should also pay attention at this stage of the game. Instead of playing this one to take gote, white can block, black needs to connect, and then white can play away. Playing this move, it's simply gote. Yeah, pushing out, it's okay, turn. So white got those points. Well, black should cover actually. Like this, white damage is more in the middle. Very good. White can get ahead with the push, because if black cuts here, white will catch the 2 stones, and white can also play out. Oh, sorry, Atari here doesn't work. My bad. So just take the 2 stones, and then even connect like this in center, and after that go down. So black loses many points like that. This was another chance for white to increase the territory gap. So when playing this one, if black escapes, now Atari, and then connect, and the corner will die. So black is just about to resign here, I guess. Or it should have been. Okay, so cover. Going down here is big to prevent the Hane and the reduction in the corner. Okay, all these moves. Ah, that's a minus. Oh no, white just missed another Atari. It's okay to connect and then accept all these Ataris. White is safe. Nothing to worry about. So actually the gap was even bigger, but now black captured some stones. So that's another 10 points profit for black. So white connected here against Atari on 1 stone. It would have been the same to connect Atari right away. So this, and now only small points left. Ah, that's a minus. Black should simply push and then capture back the core. And this is it. Yeah, and white also got the Hane in the descent to prevent the Hane. This is very big for black, especially that he could do it in center. Then go down here, then Hane and connect like this. So black could even come back enough to win this game by a few points regarding the reverse komi. But the last few moves weren't optimal. Oops. So okay, it's better to play the Atari instead when black connects. N4 is just a neutral point, so white can push again. Like this, white goes back and takes gote instead of center. Playing Atari, white doesn't need to go at N4 to take gote. pushing here it's important because when black procs, white connects and black needs to play another move inside, so he loses 2 more points. This move is no need. I mean, when playing here, if black takes the call, white connects and it's fine. So this is also no need yet. Can still push, and then when black plays Atari, white captures. Now this can be a little dangerous later on when black starts an action at S2, like this. White needs to leave somehow. So this can end up Seki, or white has to fight the ko in order to get an extra liberty, and then Atari on the outside to keep the corner safe. This means white needs to play another move inside eventually. And he did, that's very good. So these are center moves for black. Black can also play here, and then when white connects, black can play away, make some other points, and then fight the ko. White feels a ko, black feels a ko, and then fight for the last ko. So it's better to play Atari here to destroy 1 point and have the potential for another point. So if black plays here, there is still ko, and then push here. Which happened eventually. That's a point that white could take in center. So instead of Atari here, black can push, and then Atari works. So if black connects, then play this Atari. That's good. Now instead of taking the ko, it's better to make the point. And then if black feels the ko, white hits center, but there's nothing else left, so white should pass. Well, white takes the ko, black makes a point, and white feels. Is the same in this case, but white spent 2 moves. So white won in the end by 2.5 after all these adventures. I hope you enjoyed the review and play better next time.